What military equipment failed so spectacularly you still can't believe it made it through testing? The Bradley fighting vehicle. $30 billion of taxpayer money turned into a metal coffin on wheels. I was assigned to the 1st Bradley unit in Germany, 1987. Fresh out of training, excited to work with America's newest infantry fighting vehicle, supposed to revolutionize battlefield mobility. First day of exercises, our Bradley caught fire. Not from enemy action. The engine just spontaneously combusted during a routine patrol. Crew bailed out thinking we'd been hit by an RPG. Turns out the fuel lines ran directly over the exhaust manifold. Brilliant engineering. Heat from normal operation would eventually crack the lines and spray diesel onto red-hot metal. But that was just the beginning. The aluminum armor they bragged about melted when hit by standard Soviet rounds, created clouds of toxic vapor that killed crews faster than the actual penetration. The weapon system was a joke. TOW missiles cost more than most houses, but the targeting system couldn't distinguish between a tank and a large rock. We'd fire $50,000 missiles at boulders while enemy vehicles drove away laughing. The supposed amphibious capability? First water crossing exercise, 3 Bradleys sank like stones. Turns out the waterproofing seals failed if you looked at them wrong. Lost millions in equipment in 6 feet of water. My personal favorite failure was the troop compartment, designed to carry 11 soldiers plus crew. In reality, you could barely fit 6 guys with full gear. Anyone over 6 feet tall had to fold themselves into impossible positions. The exit hatches were positioned directly behind the main gun. Every time the cannon fired, the blast would slam the troop doors shut. Soldiers got trapped inside during combat exercises, unable to dismount while taking simulated fire. Air conditioning system leaked toxic coolant into the crew compartment. Half my unit spent weeks in the hospital with respiratory problems. Army solution? Install better ventilation fans that made so much noise you couldn't hear radio communications. The worst part was learning how it got approved. Test reports were classified, but rumors leaked. Every major flaw had been documented during development. Contractors just kept submitting modified designs until they found generals willing to sign off. Congressional hearings revealed the truth. Original requirements called for a simple armored personnel carrier. By the time politicians and defense contractors finished adding features, it was trying to be a tank, troop transport, anti-aircraft platform, and amphibious assault vehicle all at once. Classic case of mission creep destroying functionality. Instead of doing one job well, it did everything poorly. Swiss Army knife approach to military hardware never works. We spent more time in the maintenance bay than in the field. Parts broke constantly. Simple repairs required specialized tools that cost more than entire civilian vehicles. Supply chain was a nightmare. Enemy forces figured out the weaknesses quickly. They'd target the fuel lines with small arms fire, knowing the Bradley would cook itself. Or they'd wait for water crossings and just watch expensive American technology disappear beneath the surface. The final insult came during Desert Storm. Bradleys performed so poorly that commanders started using them as glorified trucks. Stripped out the weapon systems, loaded them with supplies, kept them away from actual combat. Irony is, the original M113 armored personnel carrier we were replacing worked fine. Simple, reliable, cheap to maintain. But it wasn't sophisticated enough for Pentagon procurement officers who wanted cutting-edge technology. 30 years later, they're still trying to fix the Bradley's problems. Every upgrade costs billions more. Each modification creates new failures. It's become a perpetual money pit that employs thousands of defense contractors. Meanwhile, soldiers in the field make do with equipment that should have been scrapped decades ago. We learn to work around the failures, adapt our tactics to accommodate broken technology, and pray the next upgrade doesn't make things worse. That's military procurement in a nutshell. Take a simple requirement, add impossible specifications, ignore test results, and declare victory when something barely functional rolls off the production line.